Poland, Kazakhstan, Egypt, Turkey, and we want to take Ugrow to the world because we're meeting a human need for women to grow, live, and prosper.
Wow. Well, Kele, thank you for being with us and thank you for coming into studio. It is 4 p.m. Time for the news.
This news broadcast is delivered by Mr. D, saluting all women who get things done.
Power News.
In the top stories this hour, Gauteng premiers indicated that discussions on the replacement of current Joburg mayor are underway with mayors of the Provincial Government of Unity, and Mozambique's Manuel Chang has been found guilty in a 10-year-long case of fraud and corruption.
In our sports headlines, Mamelodi Sundowns defensive midfielder Rivaldo Coetzee is not concerned with the changes made by the club in the coaching department. Meanwhile, South Africa will compete in the men's 400-meter relay final at the Paris Olympic Games today. Details at 4:30.
With the news at 4 o'clock, a very good afternoon. I'm Bayanda Zubondi. Gauteng Premier Banyaza Lesufi says that delays in the appointment of a new mayor in the city of Johannesburg is simply due to consultations currently underway with other political parties. ANC Gauteng chairperson Banyaza Lesufi, also deployed as the premier of the province, says the city of Joburg municipality will be spearheaded by an ANC-led mayor. In a media briefing held earlier today, Lesufi said that the party is in the final stages of finding a suitable successor to Joburg Mayor Kobelo Kamanda, who faces immense pressure to resign. Dara Morero is rumoured to be the favoured candidate for the ANC, as he has previously served as the mayor of Joburg back in 2022, albeit for 25 days. Speaking in Midrand earlier today, the Gauteng Premier made these remarks on the new mayor of Joburg.
But because we've been working very well with other political parties, the process of consultation with all other political parties that we've been working with, unfortunately took long. But we really believe it's very, very important. With all the political parties that are supporting us, there's no single political party that is refusing the idea of the ANC leading that municipality. So what we are referring to is an internal ANC process where the RSC of Johannesburg need to deliberate and provide candidates that they feel that need to be introduced as candidates of the African National Congress.
Onto this now, Limpopo Hawks have called on the space and time to investigate thoroughly the latest discovery of yet another suspected illegal military camp, this time in Modemole last night. The Hawks in that province say that firearms and ammunition were seized from the site, which is located on a farm. Hawks spokesperson Litunya Morowa could not be drawn into divulging any further details on that operation or the ownership of that farm. He says that any release of further information is likely to compromise investigations that have since been launched into this matter.
It is alleged that the Hawks Serious Organized Crime Investigation received a tip about suspicious training camp at one of the farms in Modimolle. During the operation, the team seized licensed rifle, pistol, and ammunition believed to be used during training. The purpose of the training is not yet clear, but military-related training cannot be ruled out. The manner in which the firearms and ammunition landed at the farm is still under investigation. No one was arrested.
This comes following the discovery of a similar camp in White River in Mpumalanga province last month, which has since sparked a widespread outrage as well as security concerns. 95 Libyan nationals were arrested at that camp. On to other news now. The National Health and Allied Workers Union has called for the immediate closure of the Brits mortuary in the northwest province. The union is citing severe overcrowding and unsanitary conditions. The union further describing the facility as overcrowded and smelly, raising concerns about the health and safety of both workers and the public. Now is urging authorities to take swift action to address the situation, highlighting the urgent need for improved facilities and working conditions at that mortuary. Regional Deputy Secretary Kabelo Mapike details some of the concerns.
Both male and female are using the same bathroom, so there's no privacy. The water pump wasn't working at the time, and also they only have one cleaner. If you have seen the facility, it's so huge. They've got one cleaner for the whole facility, which means if she's not there, the service is not being done. They've got their fridges are not working, which is resulting in body fluids, of course, dripping on the floors, and the workers having to step on those without even proper protective equipment, like the clothing that they have to wear. That is a very serious health hazard to our members of Nehawu in that facility, and we cannot stand for that.
And in news from further afield, now Mozambican former Finance Minister Manuel Chang has been found guilty of accepting payoffs through U.S. banks for approving secret loans. Chang signed off on the deals during his tenure between 2005 and 2015. The 10-year-long conspiracy brought the country's economy to its knees, leaving Mozambique with a $2 billion debt. The loans were intended to pay off a fleet of tuna fishing ships, as well as other projects. Now, this has since been described as the biggest corruption case to emanate from the continent of Africa. The loans were issued by Credit Suisse and the Russian bank VTB. Chang was arrested in South Africa in 2018 and extradited to the US in 2019 to face the fraud and money laundering charges. Recapping the top story in Power News this hour, Gauteng Premier Banyaza Lesufi says that the delays at the appointment of a new mayor in the city of Joburg are simply due to consultations currently underway with other political parties who form part of the provincial government of unity.
Power News. 987 Women Take Over. Power Drive is brought to you by MTN Business.
Celebrate Women's Month with us. Mr. D is thrilled to honor the amazing women who embody dedication and achievement. This month, it's all about paying tribute to all the women who get things done. We proudly salute you, support you, and admire you for your ability to get things done. Shop the Mr. D app and get amazing deals when you order this Women's Month. Mr. D. The D is for done.
And now, you're listening to Power Drive, 3 to 6 p.m. Taking your calls on 0861 987 000.
Gester beskip pares parada kasi tukazi sugela mbeni tupara speta abantwana bama-iv kwisikharakara yilesipha para phezu kwephas lempala ngoku yebala sadla lospectamen ngokugqibelo kamkibelo shira lohimen floshem brentwood kwanamajimen yebheka lapfana zona nehistory man me it's the M-O-R-A-F-E baby Mbasa B.O.P. to go over. We gon' take you far. Pack that fat. Back with dog tugging wing. You gon' funk you with up my back. My feet was a guy. Whole thing on low. So how Bola or Bola. So Bola was what's on the guy Buddha. I'm a yara night on the putz a kua. I'm stay. Where you only guy. Melanie and Fresh Studio Mix. TNG in the juice and 96. Papa Action got Manchester.
Unolegai indeed. Unolegai. Coming up in the next hour is the Mr. D giveaway moment where you stand a chance to win 1,000 Rand in Mr. D coupon redeemable on Mr. D app. Check the giveaway on power987.co.za under the 987 Women tab to participate. Sina, Unolegai.
It was going down. The time is now 4:10 and we are on the power drive. We are having fun, family, in Thabiso Kotane's house where we're playing music, where he doesn't usually play music, but we are spicing things up. My name is Sinaina Mvoko and I'm co-hosting with Tumi Sekhukhune Chamayou. And in this segment, we are going to be introducing the main story of the day, which is the MTN story, investing in women. And with us today, we've got the beautiful acting chief sustainability corporate affairs officer for MTN SA, Marina Madale, that is going to be having a conversation with us as to how in the 30 years as MTN we were doing what we're doing. Over to you, Tumi.
But before Marina gets into the seriousness, Marina, tell us, Unolegai, where were you 30 years ago, apparently, or even 20 years ago? So we're celebrating 30 years of MTN's journey. We are celebrating 30 years of democracy here at Power. Today we're celebrating 10 years of this beautiful show. But for Marina, where was she and who's Marina?
A warm yellow to everybody. At MTN, we just simply always greet in one way, and that's yellow.
Yellow.
I absolutely cannot remember where I was 30 years ago. Too deep in the memory bank.
Yes.
But definitely, Marina is a daughter. She's a sister. She's a mom, a wife, and definitely a daughter-in-law to a pretty amazing also mother-in-law. So that's me.
Yes.
I play so many roles.
Oh, no, we love that. We love that. And Marina, yes, I mean, like, we do play so many roles. And I think that in the organizations that we also work in, we bring almost like we have to bring all those facets of who we are, and just give us a little bit of color when it comes to the successes of the organization that we share in this room. I think that's one thing that we are having in common. What does MTN for you really mean as in one of those roles, before you in the role that you're currently playing in?
Thanks to me. I think for me, when I think of MTN and I think of 30 years, this year I've been digging deep in its history. And there's three things that come to mind. Firstly, everybody's absolutely united in purpose. You can wake up in MTN in the middle of the night and say, what's our core belief? And everybody will say, everybody deserves the benefits of a modern connected life. It reminds me of Michael Jordan, who was just obsessed with winning.
Yes.
So we're obsessed with inclusion, and it's crystal clear. The second is we're always at the frontier of innovation. If we think back to the time where prepaid never existed, MTN was the first company that actually brought prepaid to South Africa.
Right.
We're the first to bring, the Tiki Box.
Yes.
If those even remember, if you're old enough to remember, to bring 5G to this country, artificial intelligence and so forth. We're always at the frontier of innovation. And the last but not least, definitely, we're an organization that stands for nation building, that stands for the country, and especially in these times of needs. If you think back to the Springboks, getting them
100.
to winning victory under MTN, 2 times champions out of the 4. If you think back to the FIFA World Cup, if you think to COVID-19, getting vaccines to health workers, and certainly thinking back to the floods in KZN, that MTN was there. For us, it's about being there always.
Yes. I mean, for me as well, Marina, a lot of this actually resonates also with me, because I think at one point in our careers, we can be working in different organizations, but why this one? Why particularly, and I remember one day our group CEO talking about the smell of the place, and why the yellow, Sina? I mean, like, even for you, what does MTN also mean for you?
I'm 8 months in, Tumi, and the defining moment was when my daughter was graduating as a behavioral economist. I went to Charles and I said, I need to attend her graduation and I need to take her on a little holiday. And he said to me, Sina, go, because these are milestones in life that don't come back. Now, when you work for an organization where it is recognized that you are a person and not just a function, for me, that was very defining, that I wake up every day and I want to serve this organization.
I mean, one of the things that I love about today is just like the camaraderie. I mean, for me, MTN means home. It means South Africa. It means homegrown. It means that, you know, we're pulling our own bootstraps. I always say the difference about this organization and others that there is no London, there is no Paris, there is no New York. You know, it all stops at 14th Avenue. But we are in the digital and the IT space, and we know that these areas, Marina, are underrepresented by women. So can you give me a little bit, you know, as we try and also bring this to a close, but can you tell me a little bit with regards to what are the plans that you're seeing that MTN is embarking on that you can share also with the listeners, you know, outside of, you know, the other things that we typically do, but what are we doing specifically in the space when it comes to women?
Yeah, so I'm very fortunate to work very closely to the people who've really been spearheading MTN's gender equality efforts. And for a company to say, not only do we need to put commitments forward, but we also need to be accountable to them, and we need to make sure that they're followed with tangible action. And I'll give you a few examples. MTN has said that we need to achieve 50% women in the organization by 2030, and we're sitting at about 38% and growing. We're inching day by day, deliberate about each choice. We also recognize that, you know, sometimes there isn't, you know, equal pay for women, and MTN kind of was very deliberate about saying we need to close this gap. And for many women that received that letter, saying, you know, your salary has been adjusted. It's been incredible. I had so many people reach out to me and say, this is incredible. You guys are being consistent between what you say and what you do.
Yes.
And I think when I think back of women in MTN's history, there are many of them. Women have been at the forefront of the development of history, from the first employee to people like Irene Chanley, Feleng Sekha, to today the Tsulu Molefe,
yes.
and Dineo and Nomti. Yes. There's so many amazing women on whose shoulders we stand, who stand by us.
Yes.
Tumi, you and I know,
yes.
in our career, these women have been there for us, cheering us on, encouraging us. And so it's real. It's not about paying lip service. It's 100%. About real tangible action.
I mean, I really love that. I love the women that you've also just highlighted. I mean, when you look at also the executive team, you know, not just in South Africa, but also across our footprint, you see powerful women, you know, women who are not apologetic, beautiful women who stand in their power, in their femaleness, in their womanness. And I think this is really something that, you know, when you look from the outside, sometimes you can say, are these guys really, you know, like it's just for show. And it can't just be about show. It's really about how do we support each other, supportive women. And it really, you know, when we're sitting now, we're at the halfway mark, right? Ladies, we're in the halfway mark, right? Okay, so we've still got work to do. So it's really about the next generation. So what do you know, as we're closing out, for the future, what dreams do you have for the future generations, and how does that align again with your ambition?
Thanks to me. I think when I imagine a future, I imagine a future where every child has equal opportunities. Every child can make the most of things, can know that it takes working hard to get to where you are. So I think of my children. I don't think of only the girl child, the Isabellas of this world. I actually have been astounded by how the new generation is growing up a lot more confident than we ever did.
Right.
You know, she speaks up for herself. She's been doing that since she was 2 years old. She would put us in our place and tell us, you know, what she wanted done. So I think our role for the girl child is to support them, encourage them, lift them up, but also prepare them for life, to know that there will be tough times, but that they can stand up. But we mustn't leave the boy child behind. The Dianis of this world, they need to be encouraged to continue to be strong, to speak out, to stand up for others, but above all, to protect the women in their life, his sister, his mother, his grannies, and everything. We need need a society that is equal and that is united in purpose.
I love what you just said. Sacred femininity in the presence of sacred masculinity. I've got a pigeon pair as well, a daughter and a son. I know that Sina also has the same. So I think it is important to nurture both, because I think when we are all living at, in our strength, we are able to support each other in a very holistic way. So even though it's Women's Day, we say thank you to all the men that are supporting the power women that are sitting in this room. And Marina, thank you so much for having joined us in studio today and for also taking time out. I know you're headed to a concert. We are jealous. Please go and enjoy. Sina, you and me, we are stuck together.
We cannot miss out on an opportunity when we talk about MTN and we don't talk about how we are part of the moral fiber as a sponsor to rugby, but the guijo that unites us as MTN, that's Siyazalana, because it talks to exactly the elements that we've just gone through right now. So please do engage the song when you have an opportunity. Siyazalana. Thank you so much, Marina, for joining us this afternoon. Enjoy the show.
Thank you, Marina. Off to the ads.
Mr. Gates once said, the smartest business decision is to hire qualified people. Well, for the rest of us who run small businesses, that's not possible. But getting expert advice is. Just link to MTN SME Hub, the ultimate resource to connect, build, manage, and grow your business using insights and guidance from articles, videos, digital tools, guides, and downloadable templates. Visit mtnsmehub.co.za and link to Business Done Better.
Mama always said, the sun sets early in winter. Mama loved her evening jogs. It was her time to unwind after a long day. One evening, she didn't come home. They said she wasn't wearing reflective clothing. Now, it's just me. No more stories before bed, no more hugs, no more mama.
This winter season, make sure you're visible on the roads. Your trip shouldn't end with RIP.
This message was brought to you by the Road Accident Fund.
From the 7th to the 9th of August, the 2024 987 Woman Takeover, celebrating 10 years of inspiring and groundbreaking moments on Power 98.7. Now we're talking. Hashtag 987woman.
987 Women Takeovers proudly brought to you in partnership with Momentum, Road Accident Fund, International Women's Forum South Africa, Nungu Diamonds, Rand Mutual Assurance, MTN, the Southern African Music Rights Organization, Department of Human Settlements, in association with Mitsubishi, Mr. D, Meridian Wine Merchants.
Power 98.7 weekends. All your favorite hit music all day long. The best of the 80s, 90s, and now. If it isn't a hit, we don't play it. This is what our weekends are made of. Power 98.7. Now we're talking.
The 2024 987 Woman Takeover. Hashtag 987woman.
Welcome back to the Power Drive. What a beautiful conversation we just had there with my colleague Marina Madale, the Acting Chief of Sustainability and Corporate Affairs in South Africa. But now let's get into maybe getting back onto the ground and some more, grounding stories. And we're going to be talking about the Nasispani mass recruitment program that started with our Premier Panyaza Lesufi in 2023 June. It was meant to help create jobs and make it easier for people to find work in the provincial government departments and in the agencies. Since 2023, the Nasispani program has given thousands of jobs to people in our province. But some political parties are still questioning if the program is legitimate. Power News reporter Nkosinathi Shazi is with us to follow and share with us the story as he joins us also online. Hello, Nkosinathi.
Good afternoon, guys. I believe it is. Good afternoon to Tumi and good afternoon to Sina. And a very special shout out to all the women of Power 987 as we celebrate Women's Day here in the country.
Oh, thank you so much, Nkosinathi. Thank you for that. Nkosinathi, as you're enjoying your, you can say thank you to us for giving you guys also a day off. So,
Yes.
No, thank you for that, Nkosinathi. But Nkosinathi, will the Nasispani job recruitment program continue?
Well, firstly, thank you very much for the opportunity. So earlier today, the Premier of Gauteng, Panyaza Lesufi, held a press briefing in Midrand just to give an update on the Nasispani mass recruitment program. As you mentioned in your introduction, this mass job recruitment was started on June 16th in 2023 to help alleviate the high unemployment rate in South Africa. So what has currently happened after the 2024 general elections, the Gauteng government was in a state of limbo regarding whether or not the Nasispani program will continue. The reason why they were in limbo and that there was uncertainty whether the program would continue was due to National Treasury and the budget to fund this entire program. Of course, in Nasispani, which ranges from a wide variety of jobs, is a temporarily fix to the unemployment situation in Gauteng. However, Panyaza Lesufi has given the go-ahead, saying that Nasispani will continue under the 7th administrative government in Gauteng. So after uncertainty with more than 30,000 workers waiting anxiously, Gauteng Premier has confirmed that Nasispani under the 7th administration will continue. And here's what he had to say a short while ago while giving a briefing on the job recruitment program.
But fortunately, last week we finally received correspondence from UIF indicating that national government will continue with this program and that they're finalizing the details on how best to implement this program nationally. We urge national government to move with speed on this matter so that we can be in a position to clarify and convey this message to our beneficiaries. We will, in the next few days, meet with the leadership of these beneficiaries so that we can clarify the confusion that has been created on their either permanent employment or their request to return to work.
There you have it. That was the Gauteng Premier. Apologies for that. Just speaking a short while ago on the status of Spani.
No, thank you very much, Nkosinathi. And, 30,000 workers waiting anxiously. I'm sure that, they will also like to know, will these jobs continue to be temporary or will it be on a permanent basis?
Of course, the situation in South Africa, remains very rife. We have one of the highest unemployment rates across the world. And the question that arose from the press conference to the Premier of Gauteng is whether or not Nasispani will continue as a form of temporary employment or whether or not these employees will be absorbed on a permanent basis. Now, of course, Panyaza Lesufi described Nasispani as a stopgap and just as a temporary fix to the current unemployment status in South Africa. But he said that Nasispani, as much as it is not a permanent employment recruitment program, it is trying to alleviate the unemployment rate in the country and it is trying to change the lives of the people. So what is set to happen is that Gauteng government is set to meet once again with the national government to find a way in which to fund the Nasispani, find funding models so that this program will continue into the long term. However, giving an update on the funding model, on whether or not they will be taken on a temporary or a permanent basis, here's what the Gauteng Premier had to say about those recruitment status.
Absorb one, we must absorb everyone. But we don't have that financial muscle. But we said, and that's the point that I want to emphasize, we said, while we are still developing long, sustainable jobs, there are people that must survive today, tomorrow. And because they need to survive today and tomorrow, you can't say continue to suffer. We are still putting plans and ideas. And we felt that we can provide that stopgap.
No, thank you, Nkosnati. Thank you, Nkosnati. Thank you. And, this is a very important program. I think we all can, understand the importance of it. We are struggling with high unemployment rate. Our country president did talk about at the second SONA that we are a construction site. So I think programs like this obviously are very important, not only for the youth, not only for the economy, but also, for ourselves as a country in terms of developing us and taking us to that next level where we see ourselves. Thank you very much, Ndate Shazi, for joining us.
Thank you very much, and I appreciate the opportunity. And once again, happy Women's Day to you all.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you too, Ndate Shazi. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah, won't.
So now we can go to the news with Bayanda Sibonti.
A very good afternoon once again. In news making headlines this hour, President Cyril Ramaphosa sought to reassure citizens of government's ongoing commitment to ensuring the safety of women and children. He says women continue to play a significant role in building the country's economy. This utterances delivered during his keynote address at the National Women's Day commemoration held at Dennis Snell Stadium in the Northern Cape earlier today. As part of that event, Ramaphosa was set to lead the official signing of a pledge against gender-based violence and femicide.
Now, over 30 years, through the struggles of women, we have done much to improve the status and the circumstance of the women of South Africa. We have built on the struggles of many decades. This year marks 70 years since the historic Women's Charter was adopted. It is 30 years since the adoption of the Women's Charter for effective equality. These charters continue to guide our effort.
Meanwhile, South African women must be given the opportunity to occupy more positions of power and better the lives of many more others. This is the sentiment shared by scores of entrepreneurs attending the Soweto Women in Business Expo held in Naledi Hall in Soweto today. The day-long event is in line with the ongoing Women's Day activities in honor of the brave women that marched to the union buildings against the unjust system under the apartheid government. In other news, the Western Cape Disaster Management Team is hard at work assisting families affected by the flooding in Riverlands and Chatsworth areas. That's after over 50 households were displaced after dam walls burst earlier this week. According to authorities, emergency services are still on the ground, assisting those affected, while local authorities are assessing the full extent of the damage. Residents have also been urged to seek shelter and avoid low-lying areas as the situation is said to remain volatile. More on these and other power news at 5 o'clock.
Power 98.7 weekends. All your favorite hit music all day long. The best of the 80s, 90s, and now. If it isn't a hit, we don't play it. This is what our weekends are made of. Power 98.7. Now we're talking. Power Sport.
In the world of sports, and starting off with football, the Mamelodi Sundowns defensive midfielder Rivaldo Coetzee is not concerned with the changes made by the club in the coaching department, claiming Manqoba Mngqithi understands their way of play. After parting ways with Rulani Mokoena last season, the defending champions promoted Manqoba Mngqithi as head coach, brought back the service of Steve Kompela, and signed former Amazulu coach Roman Falls to bolster their tactical team. Speaking to the media ahead of Sunday's MTN 8 quarter-final clash with Polokwane City, Coetzee is optimistic the new tactical team will do wonders.
I don't think we've been disturbed as much. Coach Mangoba has been with the club and with most of the group that's been here for a few years now. So there is some continuity that's happening. But we're looking forward to it, man. You know, this is football. You know, one day you are here, one day you are not. Unfortunately, it's the head coach who are not here. You know, next season it could be me or any other player that's not here. So it's just to adapt. Obviously now to adapt to Coach Mangoba's philosophy and what he expects of us.
Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag faces a defensive headache as injuries continue to plague his side preparation for the Community Shield clash with rivals Manchester City tomorrow. The Red Devils are said to be without defender Harry Maguire, Victor Lindelof, Luke Shaw and Aaron Wan-Bissaka for the new season curtain raiser, which pits the English Premier League champions against the FA Cup winners. In addition, centre-back Lisandro Martinez only rejoined the squad this week after taking part in Argentina's successful defensive of their Copa America crown this summer. Manchester United manager Erik ten Hag says they will put a competitive team to win tomorrow's trophy.
So we always want to win, also in all the friendlies, and it's about the trophy. Yeah, and so we will put out a team that is very competitive to win this trophy. But it's also pre-season, and we don't go into big risks with players. That's also, I think, normal approach into this game.
Into rugby, Springbok assistant coach Mzwandile Sticks insists their poor record against Australia in Brisbane has not impacted the players in their preparation for the opening test of the Rugby Championship tomorrow. The Wallabies have dominated the Boks at Lang Park over the years. It was back in 2013 when the Boks last tasted victory over their Southern Hemisphere rivals at the venue. What is certainly worth noting is the fact that the Springboks will surrender top spot in the rankings to Ireland if they fail to beat Australia in their Rugby Championship. Assistant coach Mzwandile Sticks.
If we're going to put ourselves under pressure by just focusing on what a history says, I don't think we'll be in the right track, as a team. But the key thing for us is it's our process and to make sure that we keep improving in our game. Since we haven't beaten them since 2013 in this field here, I don't really think there is a bit of an outside effect that causes us not to win. I think if on a day we focus on our stuff and do them very well, I think we might stand a chance to win the game. But once again, it's always going to be tough when you play against away from home. But otherwise, I don't think the pressure of having won here, it's really something that is a main focus point for us now.
Finally, at the Olympics, South Africa will compete in the men's 400-meter relay final at the Paris Olympic Games today, with the final set for Cora to 8 in the evening. All eyes will be on Akani Simbine as he hunts down his first Olympic medal after finishing just 0.03 seconds behind winner Noah Lyles in the men's 100-meter final. Simbine's participation in the 400-meter final is a positive result for South Africans, considering the team had lost talented young star Benjamin Richardson to injury earlier this week. The 20-year-old injured his hamstring in the 200-meter heat on Monday. The men's 400-meter relay final take place in the Stade de France at Koratu 8. More of sports at the top of the hour with your Power Sports. Jabulane Mabele Polori.
Power Sport.
From the 7th to the 9th of August, the 2024 987 Woman Takeover.
Now, my name is Pretty Ngwenya and I'm going to be with you until 3 o'clock when it comes to the conversation that we are unpacking Coalition GNU as well. A lot of people have been saying, brother Julius Maleme in particular, a sellout as ANC has no reason to work with DA. Shabulani, a warm welcome to you all the way from Mamelodi.
We have a problem of policing in this country, and that is why the crime rate is so high. So I think this GNU, we must give it a try as long as it is going to address unemployment, it's going to address, it doesn't matter whether it's white people or it's it's fine as long as poverty is going to be thrown out of South Africa. Because these politicians, they bring a political virus and contaminate people with this politics instead of taking care of the fundamental rights of people. And thank you very much. And have a blessed Women's Month.
Thank you very much, Jabulani.
Celebrating 10 years of inspiring and groundbreaking moments on Power 98.7. Now we're talking. Hashtag 987woman.
Send us your voice notes on 083-303-7093.
Hi, good afternoon to Power FM listeners and to these two amazing women running the show today. My name is Sekhukhune and my blood is very yellow. And when I mean yellow, I mean very, 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 very yellow. Hey, Power FM, let's go root with our leaders. But hey. The way they're running the show today, I'm even wondering, are these two, are they really supposed to be in ICT or in journalism? Yeah, well, guys, honestly, I am so inspired and driven daily under the leadership of these amazing women. Be blessed, guys. Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day. We're so proud of you.
Good afternoon, ladies, and happy Women's Day. Listening to the stories shared today has been both inspiring and eye-opening in terms of the opportunities and spaces that are out there for everyone. So thank you for that, and thank you for holding space. Thank you for sharing, and a beautiful Women's Day further.
Hi, ladies. Listening to your show and loving it. And I appreciate the fact that you realize that we need to recognize that we mustn't leave the boy child behind in celebrating ourselves. Let's bring them with us so that they are able then to be the men and the fathers and the brothers that we need them to be.
Wow. What an amazing show. The Drive Time show would definitely not be the same ever again after this. It's such an inspirational show to sit and listen to as we hear the stories of how yourself, Tumi, Marina, Sina have gotten to where you are. And looking at the theme of investing in women, it will definitely be lost on me if I do not mention the women that have been, cardinal in my growth and in my 14 years with MTN, and the likes of Ethel Chanda Mulenga, the likes of Vivian Kondolo, Yolanda Nkube, having direct and indirect impact. And some of these leaders would actually be able to just see something in you in my younger years and just say, you can do it. And you say, no, I'm not ready. And they say, yes, you are. You can do it. Everything, you've got it. Everything else you learn on the job, really, really have helped me grow and gain that confidence and be of value. So it's very, very important. And my theme throughout as I continue to evolve and grow has been to be brave and not perfect, which is very encouraging for me. And I hope this show and the powerful ladies here will be able to encourage, other young ladies and women to take risks and embrace failure as a path to success, which is very critical. The importance of, giving opportunities, to women and girls in technology can never be overemphasized. It is really, really critical. It has an impact, and I'm very inspired right now. Well done, and this has been a great show.
The 2024 987 Woman Takeover. Hashtag 987woman.
Thank you so much for the wonderful VNs. And yes, to me, I think we've got fans. But for us, I think the most important thing is the depth in the messaging and the authenticity that you are just putting across. And we really, really appreciate it. The boy child story is very important. And I'm speaking as a mom of 3 boys with just 1 girl. It's very important that as society, we bring our boy children in a journey with us. To me, just before I hand over to you. I think, Tseho, thank you so much for reaching out. Onati, all the way from Namibia, as you are taking a flight, you're also finding time to reach out to us. We really, really appreciate it. Snaza in Port Elizabeth, we see and we hear you. Tulega, we know that you are listening, but what's most important to me is just a reflection on how the people that we are in the organization with are showing you as our leader support. It really talks to the motherly, nurturing style of leadership that you lead with in the 9 months in the role, where people are feeling like they belong in a space. Can you give a reflection on just the messages that came from the voice notes and some of them from people within the organization?
No, thank you. Thank you again, Sina. I see what she's doing. You know, the listeners are here with me, but I so appreciate all the voice notes and I appreciate the messages that are coming through. And I think, you know, what Marina said a little bit earlier, I think was very, you know, like that really resonated with me. You know, we sit as mothers, we sit as individual dreamers when we are in our young ages. You know, we sit as technology enthusiasts. We sit as people that are also trying to make sure that we are not having that inner critic that is really, really so loud in our voices. You know, having that imposter syndrome, the loneliness, and all of that. You know, so I think, when I think about, you know, like there's a question in there, you know, what is it, who am I in this essence? I think I am you. You know, I am every single individual and every single person that I'm engaging with, you know, like, and I think when I look at you as Sina, I think, who is this woman going to become? And how do I even, you know, participate in shaping, in learning, in journeying with you in the time frame that we're exposed to each other. I think in my journey, I've realized that because I've lived and been in so many different places, you know, I've met amazing people that sometimes I wish they could be with me for forever, you know, like they never leave, you know, that they stay in my house, but like life happens and then we move on to the next
100%,
journey.
100%.
So the time that you had with someone, how did you make a positive impact? You know, you've got choices every time. You can either make positive impact or a negative impact.
Precisely. Let's hold a thought, and I think we've got a caller here. I suspect he's from Johannesburg. Nkosi, we understand that you want to say hi.
I couldn't waste this opportunity. No ways. You ladies are making me so proud, eh?
Oh,
fantastic work, man. Hey?
Thank you, Dr.
Fantastic.
Nkosi.
Yeah. I mean, this day is a very, very special day, and we are with you. We support you as MTN men, and I'm really, 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 really chuffed to see how comfortable you guys are in front of that mic. The one thing I want to congratulate you on, Sina, when you said Tumi is from Limpopo, you got it right.
I didn't say Limpopo. I did say I am a girl from Native Unit 2 in Mdantsane. So, yes, I try. Thank you so much,
Fantastic
Dr.
work,
Nkosi,
ladies. Awesome. Cheers,
our
guys.
Comrades Marathon Multi. Yes, we've got another caller on the line, and she is coming from KwaZulu-Natal. Busi, welcome.
Hello, ladies. Hello, Sina. Hello, Tumi. Guys, I'm so proud of you. It's so good just listening in and hearing everything that you have to say. I work with you guys, and I know how passionate you are about women and growing women. I am so proud of you. I'm actually getting emotional, and thank you for the journey that you've taken us through, the learnings and everything. You are the epitome of woman support. Thank you so much for that. Working for MTN, I must say that I'm one of the custodians of a great opportunity to lead the KZN. Power to all the women, and thank you for your support. I couldn't let this opportunity pass me. Thank you so much, ladies. You are great.
Oh, power back to you, my sister Busi, my brother
100%.
Datenkosi. You know, it's so beautiful just to hear all these voices. Sina, you know, like, I mean, this is really a tribe, right?
We are supported.
Yeah, we are supported. We are supporting.
Standing in
Yes.
shoulders of giants.
No, absolutely. No, so that was really wonderful just to hear from Dr. Nkosi, from Busi in KZN. And I really, just to close out, that point with regards to we are a tribe. We as a nation are also a tribe. MTN is just an ecosystem, or it's just showcasing what can actually be done in the rest of the country. We need to be holding each other. We need to be supporting each other. And also we need to be supporting our ads. So we are now moving to an ad break, and we will see you on the other side.
The 987 Woman Takeover is celebrating 10 years of amazing and groundbreaking moments by honoring dynamic women in South Africa. Download the Mr. D app on Android or App Store now and join thousands who are ordering food from over 12,000 restaurants, shopping for Pick and Pay groceries at in-store prices. Remember, with Mr. D, you can pay with cash, card, or EFT and track your order in real time. Once you've downloaded the app, visit the Power 98.7 website, complete the form, answer a simple question, and stand a chance to win one of 12 1,000 Rand Mr. D coupons. This promotion is valid from the 7th to the 9th of August as part of the 987 Woman Takeover between 6 a.m. and 6 p.m. Coupons are redeemable on the Mr. D app only. T's and C's apply.
Get those lucky numbers ready and play Lotto. Lotto Plus 1 and Lotto Plus 2 for 48 million Rand in total estimated jackpots this Saturday. Play Lotto for an estimated 7 million Rand. Lotto Plus 1 for 9 million Rand and Lotto Plus 2 for 32 million Rand today. Buy your tickets now in store on nationallottery.co.za, the mobile app, cell phone banking, or simply dial *120 *7529# for USSD. Panda, Pusha, play. Players must be 18 years old to play responsibly. E2 is a proud operator of the National Lottery.
Power 98.7 weekends. All your favorite hit music all day long. The best of the 80s, 90s, and now. If it isn't a hit, we don't play it. This is what our weekends are made of. Power 98.7. Now we're talking.
The 2024 987 Woman Takeover. Hashtag 987 Woman.
Now you're talking. We are on the Drive show with Tumi and Sina. And the Power Drive hosted by us today is really going to be delving into other conversations, particularly when we're looking into our youth. A very, very, hearty topic. I think that, you cannot be a leader without looking backwards. You think of yourself when you were young, Sina.
Yes.
And we've got with us Ashley Safi, but before we bring Ashley in, you're a mother to a burgeoning young girl, and she's about to go places. So what are the things that keep you up at night? What are the things that worry you? And what are the things that excite you?
To me, that is a topic that is very close to my heart. I had her when I was 20, and in the conversations of getting deeper, I was going to share a little bit as to when I had her, my life changed. But she's a young professional now, very proud. She's 24 years old. She's a behavioral economist. She's just started working this year. I'm worried that the corporate life in general isn't able to receive the diversity that as human beings we carry. I think there's a very dynamic conversation that at some point we need to have as to whether from a mental, psychological basis, these kids, unlike us where we were told you're going to do what you need to do, we need to ensure that they are supported psychologically to perform in the roles, which have not changed, by the way, from an expectation perspective. So really, to me, this is for me a very deep issue where with her today, when she goes to work, I want to see what she looks like. I want to see that when she's working in an environment where it's very gray, is she appropriately in the straight jacket of how she needs to show up? So yes, I'm looking forward to hearing the dynamic Ashley taking us through her journey as to how she gotten to this point.
Absolutely. No, thank you for that. And thank you for sharing. We've got the beautiful Simi with us here in studio, and Ashley Safi, who is joining us. I believe she'll be joining us from Cape Town. And Ashley holds a BSc in Actuarial Science and Financial Mathematics. She is a 30-year-old woman who is currently the head of spend and customer value management at FNB. She has made significant and amazing strides in her career. The role that women are playing, today as leaders and challenging the stereotypes, transforming the dynamics of power and influence, and also, highlighting the importance of mentorship. Ashley, as you join us, take us a little bit through your career journey, and how are you, my sister, and happy Women's Day to you too.
Good afternoon, ladies. Thanks so much for having me on the show, and happy Women's Day.
Thank you.
So if I were to go through my career and my journey so far, I started my career at FNB as a graduate 8 years ago, straight out of varsity, and I went into an actuarial analyst role. And I did that for a little bit, and I was very lucky to be provided with good opportunities, and I maximized on those opportunities. And I then went into an analytics manager role. I did that for 2.5 years or so. And then I was fortunate enough to be placed in my current role as the head of spend and CVM. And I've been in that role now for almost about 4 years. So that, in summary, has been my career so far. And it's still loving my current job. I get to drive really cool technology and adoption and everything. And yeah, I'm really grateful for the opportunities I've been provided so far.
No, wonderful, Ashley. I think one of the things that also, piques my mind is that, we hear about you guys as millennials. We are managing you guys. You guys are coming with very different language that sometimes even, the future leaders the older leaders are not maybe getting. What does it take today in today's world to be a young woman and also striving for growth? So what makes you as Ashley tick?
Yes, I mean, that's a very interesting question. I definitely do think that the various age groups, from obviously all the millennials and now obviously Gen Zs and everything, I think we must be very cognizant and inclusive, obviously, of how we've all been brought up very differently. And obviously then with that comes different ways of how we react in meetings and how we show up. And I think something that has always made me tick and always kept me motivated is I've got this thing in me that whatever I do, I've got to do it with passion fully. So I've always believed that one person with passion, one of my favorite things, is one person with passion is better than 40 people merely interested, right?
100.
And I think that as soon as you lose your passion for something, I think it's very clear in the corporate world. And I think that has really just always helped me go to the next level. So I've always managed to find that passion. But you have to be really resilient, right? I mean, in the corporate world, obviously, historically, it's been a man's world. And I've been fortunate enough to be able to be in a company that has really allowed for women to succeed and grow. But, it is difficult when you are young to try and find your seat at the table.
Actually, if I may come through, my goodness, you've achieved so much. You've done exceptionally well for yourself, and well done and congratulations. But I see that you are a golfer. Can we talk a little bit about that? Because I play golf. I'm on a handicap of 28 now. I've been playing for a very long time. What does golf do to you? Why golf? Why not netball? Can you take us through that journey?
So I think that I started playing golf actually from a work perspective. Actually, it was quite a corporate game, and I was like, why not buy some golf clubs and go play some golf?
And do you enjoy it? What's your handicap now?
I'd rather not share.
Oh, Sina.
I put everything on the table. I put everything on the table.
Say that I've got a good drive. I would thank my hockey skills for that, sir.
Yes.
But I really do enjoy it as a nice sport to clear your mind, be able to walk through a nice, good day to honestly get some clarity, as well as really good networking.
I really like that. And I mean, you are quite young and quite progressive. If you were to sit with your peer, I mean, my daughter can hear you. She's in studio with me. I needed her for moral support. She's a behavioral economist. What advice would you give a peer that is just starting out? And maybe someone in university, someone in high school that is aspiring to be an Ashley, that outside of work loves traveling, walking, but has achieved so much. What advice would you give them? Maybe let's start with the one that is in high school, grade 10, 11, 12. Let's get to the university and maybe say to Semi pointers.
Okay. So from a high school perspective, I would honestly really not underplay working hard and, giving yourself that opportunity to do whatever you want, right? So by allowing yourself hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard, right? And if you push yourself in your 6th year, etc., it just opens up so many doors for you. But in the same light, though, you must also keep perspective that if things don't go your way in high school, it's not the end of the world. You've got your whole life ahead of you. You can still fix anything, and you shouldn't then think that all doors are shut.
And to your peer that is just starting out in work life?
From a work-life perspective, networking is super important, but also finding the right mentors and sponsors in a corporate perspective, right? And then also, just as a young woman, you have to fully believe in yourself and your potential, even when that path seems completely challenging.
You've been super phenomenal, Ashley, and we've been privileged to have you. It would have been nice to have more time to have a conversation with you, but this is the moment where we need to thank you for joining us. It's really been an honor as we go into the news with our Bayanda Zibonti.
This news broadcast is delivered by Mr. D, saluting all women who get things done.
Power News.
And Gossip ladies, in the top stories at 5 o'clock, President Cyril Ramaphosa assures of a commitment to ensure women's issues continue to top the list of government's priorities. And Gauteng Premier says a new ANC mayor of Johannesburg will soon be announced.
In our sports headlines, Cape Town City head coach Eric Tinkler says the intensity of their players have gone up. However, the real test lies in tomorrow's match.